I was filming a small boat and saw what looked like a sunken boat below it. The sunken boat was nearly the same size as a functional boat cruising above. As the boat passed by, the boat below started to rise up. I was in shock. I had no idea what was happening. As it came up from the depths and neared the surface of the super blue water, its shape started to become clearer. It had points on both sides. It did not have a bow or stern. And then I saw it start to move. The points on both sides started to move up and down slowly. There was an opening in front, almost like a half circle. The back of it went to a point and had something skinny pulling behind. I started to see some color. Well, not much color, but black and white. To my great surprise, I finally realized what I was seeing. A pelagic manta. My first time ever seeing one of these amazing creatures. It was so big. Judging by the boat size, this manta was probably 18 feet across. Huge! So hard for me to contain my excitement while I was filming this beautiful specimen. It was early morning, and I was only one up. The night before, we had anchored in a small bay after a 5-day sailing passage. I usually get up for sunrise every day while traveling. This was one of those days. I was exceptionally grateful for doing so. I sat in the cockpit of the sailboat, watching the dark gradually turn to light, observing the color go out of the sky and the sun start its visible track for the day. I filmed the sunrise, filmed the sailboat, filmed the scenery around, filmed a turtle, and then I started filming some fishing boats. It was probably the third boat I had filmed from above, way above, before I started following this boat that led me to this manta. I'm not sure what made me observe it over the others. As the sun starts coming up and brightening the water below the surface, different things start becoming visible. The rocks and sand below are often the first things you can see in the water, and then there are near-surface creatures, such as a turtle that may be swimming, with just a little bit of the sea above it. Objects further down are hazy and hard to make out if you can see them at all. Kind of like what we see on land when the light changes from the dark to the dawn. We can hardly make out anything in the dark, but as it gets light, things start to take a muddled shape and then become clearer and clearer as the sun rises up. The same thing happens in the ocean. A mix of that and the depth that it came up from made it hard to distinguish this manta from a small sunken boat. This was the first of 4 pelagic mantas I had the privilege of seeing that day. Such amazing creatures. At one point we were sailing along and I saw something flapping on the surface right adjacent to the boat, and it was the wingtips of a manta rising a few feet out of the water and slapping the sea. Such a cool moment.